Will you introduce yourself for people who haven't met you yet?
Okay, hi. I'm Mollie. I'm 25 years old and I have a stutter, as is obvious by the way that I talk.
We first met in 2018. How old were you at that time?
I was 18. I had to think about that for a second.
If you could say one thing to the world, what would it be?
When you first meet me, don't jump straight into talking about my stutter, because I'm more than just that.
What will people see when they meet you?
A person who cut her own bangs on her floor 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
What has changed since we first met?
So many things have changed, because I went to college a few months post our interview. Straight after college, I did a year of service through the Episcopal Service Corps, which is kind of like the Peace Corps, but it's in the States. And then post the Service Corps, I went on to law school, which is where I am currently, and I just finished my second year of law school, so I have a year left, and then I take the bar exam, which is kind of scary, but...
When you were 18 years old, did you think you would accomplish all of this?
I mean, no, I was confident in myself, in terms of excited for college and starting my grown-up life and stuff, but I wasn't even thinking about law school at that point. So yes and no. I think I'm more comfortable with people who I'm close to, but I'm really shy around new people.
To help you get out of your bubble, what should others do?
I guess just treat me like the same as you treat your other friends, and don't treat me like a 3-year-old.
Have you learned anything new about your stutter over the last 7 or 8 years?
7 or 8 years, that's such a long time. I mean, I feel I've become more confident in public speaking spaces, because in my undergraduate school, for all 4 years of undergraduate, I did something called model UN model Arab League, which is kind of speech and debate, but it's about foreign policy stuff, and I enjoyed that so much. I traveled to conferences across the country, and I was the only person who just stuttered because in these conference spaces, but I enjoyed it a lot. And I think across time and through undergraduate, college, and now in law school too, I feel the whole concept of I feel the whole concept of being the only person who stutters in a room has become less scary, and it's something that I kind of, to an extent, enjoy now, because I think it's a positive thing that if I'm the only person who stutters, that people will interact with in public speaking spaces. I take that as a good opportunity to represent to my community and whatnot. So that's something that I've grown to take a lot more pride in than I think I used to. It's kind of harder to branch out and meet new friends, because I have to go through the whole I have a stutter thing all over again, and that's tiring. stuttering.
What are you most proud of yourself for the past 7-8 years?
That's a lot of years. And like I'm glad like I have to like think about that. This is kind of separate from the whole stuttering thing, but I have traveled a lot, especially the past like 2 years, and I used to have like as like a teenager and kind of still as a like college kid, I could be very, very like socially anxious, and I've overcome that a lot in the past 2 years. Like I traveled for the like summer abroad program for my law school. I have traveled to I have traveled the UK twice in the past year, like a loan, which like my parents were like terrified. They're like, your flight's gonna get canceled, you're gonna be stranded, which like I can understand that because like they're my parents and they care about me, but I was like, I'll be fine, and then I was fine, so that was something that I was proud of. And so yeah, I've enjoyed just starting to be less socially anxious, and that's something that I think I'm proud of myself for, especially because like I don't think I wouldn't say that my stutter really necessarily caused my social anxiety, but I think it also kind of like affected it, and so like it's been good to like kind of grow past a lot of that like social anxiety stuff that like used to I think like really like paralyze me in certain situations.
Is it something you naturally grew out of, or did you find some strategies to help?
I think finding people that I really enjoy being around has helped a lot. My horrible posture, like I should sit more.
Oh, you're fine. It's great to be here with you again.
Yes.
I gotta adjust that really quick. Sometimes I forget my height. There we go. Cool. 7 years. I feel old.
I know, I'm like 25 and I'm like, I feel old. Like I like tell people that and they're like, you're still a baby. And I'm like, no, I'm like 5 years away from 30. That's old.
I love being 36. I wouldn't change it. But 25 is so young to me now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's people watching this in their 40s and 50s and look at us both as babies. So it's all relative.
Yeah.
What is a stutter?
I mean, it's a type of speech impediment that just affects how you talk. I'm not sure of all like the scientific definitions. I haven't like looked that up in like a long time because I'm just like used to talking how I talk, so I don't really think about what causes it too much.
Is it physically exhausting to stutter?
Yes, it can be very, very physically exhausting, and especially at times like sometimes you kind of like chew like the inside of your cheek or like your tongue, and that like hurts. And so, but yeah, it can be very, very like physically exhausting at some points, and like it's hard because like I enjoy talking. Like I was talking to someone, this was like a month ago-ish, and he was like super sweet and stuff, but like he was like, so like do you like it's not like enjoy talking like because you have a stutter? And I was like, oh no, like I love to talk, it just like takes me longer to do it, but I love to talk, so I can talk for myself and don't feel like you like have to speak for me, because I can speak for myself.
When we first met, you were the first person I interviewed who has a stutter. And I remember that you told me, if you're talking to somebody who has a stutter, not to interject.
Yeah.
Let that person finish their thought. And since then, I've actually met, just out and about in my life, many people who had a stutter. One of the times was just the other week when I was at a wedding. One of the cocktail waitresses came up to me and my friends, and she asked if we wanted an appetizer.
Yeah.
And she had a stutter. And she was addressing what she was saying to me, but all my friends were gathered around. So I really loved that because I had the opportunity to model for all my friends what you taught me.
Yeah.
So it took her a little longer to finish what she wanted to say, but I gave her all the time she needed and said, oh no, I'm okay, I don't really like that type of food. And then she asked my friends, but my friends then did the same thing and let her finish.
Yeah.
So it really taught me that like when we're as advocates in those situations, it's really a great opportunity to model the behavior we wish that everybody would emulate.
Right, yes, for sure.
What is law school like when you have a stutter?
I mean, I think it's the most cognizant that I've felt of my stutter in a long time. And like, that's not a slight to like my school or my peers. Like, I have had great peers. I've had great faculty that have like completely like supported me, and that's been great. But I think I've been more cognizant of it because like I feel like at least with like undergraduate college, like yeah, like you kind of stick out, but like I feel like you're still in a place where people expect you to be. Like, I don't think people expect people who stutter to just like choose like to not attend like undergraduate college, but people don't really expect people who stutter to choose to go to law school. And so I feel like it's, you kind of become more cognizant of the fact that you are swimming against a tide of like what people typically expect from people who talk like you. And like I am like the only person who stutters like because in my like cohort like through law school, and so like I do stick out, but I've had great faculty and great peers that have completely supported me, so I've been very grateful for that.
Do you do any type of mock trials?
Yes. So last summer I got to do it's my law school has a summer abroad program that's centered around the Nuremberg trials, and so I tried out for the moot court team for that, and my tryout could have gone a little bit better because I threw up in the middle of the tryout. That has never happened to me before in my life. Like, I've been public speaking for like a long time at this point. I was shocked, and the professor was shocked because I don't think he's ever had that happen. But I was like, can I keep like trying out? And he was like, if like you want to. He was like, because it was like I threw up. That was obviously like not how that was supposed to go, but I chose to continue with the tryout, and so I invited the team and got to do oral arguments in Germany, like inside of the like Nuremberg courthouse, which was like a crazy experience, and I enjoyed that so much. So yeah, it's been great.
Do you need any accommodations?
I could, but I don't. It's something that I could if I chose to do that, and like I don't think there's anything wrong with people who do choose to have them, but I have always chosen like throughout like undergrad and throughout law school too that it's my personal preference just to be treated the same as everybody else. Like, that's not to say that like accommodations are like cheating, because like I like don't think that, but like it's just how I felt personally, that like I would prefer to be held to the same standards because that's my like fluently speaking peers are. I feel like in the past couple years, the discussion around like job inclusivity has become a very tense discussion, which I don't think it really needs to be. Like, I don't want to get a job because like the person that like interviewed me felt bad that I had a stutter, and like there's always kind of like, but at the same time, like I'm also cognizant of the fact like we live in like the society that we're in, and that I can have like the same qualifications, I can have the same experience, I can have the same passion, but if like the next person can articulate all that more fluently, then like if it's between the two of us, the society we're in, the person that can articulate it more like will probably be the one who gets the job, which is reality. But I also don't want a job because someone feels bad for me, so it's hard to like balance all of those like kind of like conflicting emotions as an adult trying to like exist in the like adult world that has like student loans to pay and bills to pay. So
does your stutter vary with how severe it can be?
It does, and like I've tried to pinpoint certain situations, but I honestly don't think that it follows like in certain situations like I stutter less or stutter more, like it fluctuates pretty like randomly, I think, which can be a little bit frustrating because like in terms of like public speaking stuff, I like it's important obviously to practice in public speaking, but it's hard for me to kind of figure out what that looks like for me because like I can practice, but it doesn't really change how much I will stutter like 2 days from now or like 2 weeks from now. So like having to figure that out has been a little bit, I would say, kind of frustrating, but it is what it is.
When we first met, when you were about 18, did you expect that you would have a stutter when you were 25?
I think so. I mean, like, I think once I got to like the age of like 15, 16, and like I still had I kind of like started to accept that yes, like some people do grow out of it, but like I won't be one of those people. And like I think at this point in my life I have accepted that, and I know that there are people who stutter who feel differently like than I do, and like I have complete respect for them. But I'm at a point where like if someone came to me and was like, hey, here's this pill, like it'll like completely cure you, like you'll speak fluently for like the rest of your life, I'm at a point where I would choose to not take that cure pill, whatever. And I have understanding for people who stutter, who feel differently, and who would choose to take it. But at this point, personally, I feel like my stutter is like a part of who I am, like intrinsically, like as a person. It's like it would feel weirder, I think, to just speak fluently forever at this point in my life. So
is there anything we haven't discussed yet that you wanted to talk about today?
It's a good question, because I've been like thinking for like the past like week about like stuff, and like I think we like ran through like most of like the things I was like, oh, we should touch on this, we should touch on this.
Yeah, you did amazing. Yeah. I want to say that everything you're doing, I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
it's amazing everything you're accomplishing, and it's going to be a big motivator for younger people with stutters. Yeah. I know I don't want to call you an inspiration, but for those younger kids who don't know what their future looks like, you are kind of an inspiration for them, and I hope that you take pride in that.
Yeah, I try, so thank you.
When somebody finishes watching this video, what do you hope they most remember from it?
I would hope they take away that people who stutter are choosing to pursue fields that typically aren't expected of them. And like I hope something like this, and I hope that hearing from a person who stutters, who's in law school, kind of pushes back on their, I guess, it's what they would typically expect of people who have speech impediments.